probably been told that if a woman isn't interested in you, you should give up, move on, or try harder to prove yourself. But there's an uncomfortable truth that's often overlooked here. Women don't miss men because they need them. They miss men who can leave a strong emotional impression, even in their absence. Men who can project an impressive presence. This article isn't about cliché pickup tactics or memorized opening lines. It's about understanding female psychology on a deeper level and how you can create a foundation that will make even a woman who seems distant at first think about you when you're not around. Does that sound impossible? Actually, it's not. Because indifference isn't a permanent state. It's a reaction. And if you know how to transform that reaction, you can fundamentally change the way a woman perceives you. Before you roll your eyes, let's be clear. Making a woman miss you does not mean chasing after her, begging, or trying to prove your worth. On the contrary, these behaviors are the fastest ways to destroy attraction. Remember, women don't respect men who try too hard for them. So, what actually works? The answer lies in doing the exact opposite of what most men do. The key is not to be constantly available. It's to leave an unforgettable, indelible impression. In this article, we'll walk you through exactly how to achieve that, step by step. I'll show you how to spark curiosity, respect, and ultimately desire in even a woman who doesn't make time for you and keeps her distance. In the end, you'll see that her longing for you isn't a matter of chance. It's the result of understanding psychology correctly and managing relationship dynamics with a different strategy. 1. Why chasing kills attraction. Have you ever thought about the truth behind why chasing kills attraction? Here's that thing most men struggle to accept, but never want to hear. The more you chase a woman, the faster she pulls away from you. After all, you see someone you want, you try to convince them, you put in the effort, and you want to prove your worth. However, when it comes to female psychology, this behavior almost always has the opposite effect. But why? Because at the heart of chasing lies a dynamic that upsets the balance of power in the relationship. Faced with your constant effort, rather than seeing herself as someone who deserves your attention, she begins to perceive you as someone desperately seeking her approval. Let's be realistic. Who longs for something they already have in abundance? When you constantly call them, text them, or try to impress them, you are actually emotionally overloading them. They don't need to think about you because you have already given yourself to them excessively. Think of it this way. If someone brought you your favorite meal every day without expecting anything in return, would you really crave it after a while? Probably not. But if that food suddenly disappeared one day, only then would you realize how valuable it was and how much you wanted it. This is exactly how the dynamics of attraction and longing work in relationships. Women don't crave men who chase after them. They crave men whose presence is valued and whose absence is felt. Investing your efforts in yourself makes you unforgettable. Then, when you stop chasing, that's when she starts thinking about you. 2. Women crave men who create mystery. Here's the most crucial point. Chasing actually sends a much deeper and more negative message about you. This behavior is fundamentally a sign of insecurity. It conveys the message to the other person, I am so worthless that I have to beg you to come to me. And nothing destroys attraction as quickly as insecurity. Women are naturally attracted to men who have their own options, value their time, and don't need to beg for attention. Therefore, if you want a woman, even one who is currently distant from you, to miss you, the first rule is extremely simple. Stop chasing and pull back. Give her space to feel your absence. That silence will speak much louder than hundreds of messages. For example, imagine you text a woman 3 times a day and she responds with short or indifferent replies. Instead of doubling your efforts, stop messaging her completely for 2 days. Do you know what usually happens? She'll start wondering, where did he go? And what is he doing? She'll check your social media profile, and she may even reach out to you herself. By stopping the pursuit, you create the necessary space for her curiosity to grow. The second important point, silence speaks louder than words. Most men believe that constant communication nurtures love. A good morning message in the morning, constant texting throughout the day, and a good night message at the end of the day. While it may seem like a lot of effort on the surface, this behavior actually causes the other person to take you for granted. Why? Because when your attention and words are constantly available, they lose their value. Silence, on the other hand, has weight. It creates tension, arouses curiosity, and makes the woman think. In female psychology, curiosity is a much stronger emotion than familiarity. When you remain silent, you make her ask questions like, why isn't he texting me? What is he doing right now? Who is he spending time with? This curiosity is the first seed planted for her to miss you. Remember, attention is a currency, and silence is the most effective way to increase its value. If you constantly text and call, your attention becomes worthless, like broken coins. It's not special because it's always there. But when you pull back, your attention gains meaning. People value things that are rare. But this silence should not be confused with immaturity. It is not about ignoring her or playing childish games. It's about finding balance. Your goal should be to show that your world does not revolve around her messages. A man who does not feel the need to be in constant communication is a confident, independent, and self-respecting man. That's what makes him attractive. So remember, sometimes the most powerful thing you can say to a woman is nothing at all. Let your silence do its work. For example, let's say you text a woman every day and suddenly her replies start coming later or are shorter. Most men panic and send more messages. You do the opposite. Back off. Don't send any messages for a day. What happens? Eventually, she notices the absence, checks her phone, waiting for your name, and may even reach out to you. That silence creates far more impact than any message you could have sent. 3. Don't be overly available. One of the biggest strategic mistakes men make with women is the misconception that constant and unlimited availability will win them a relationship. You're surely familiar with this situation. You cancel plans with friends just because he might call. You respond to every message immediately, making them feel like you're always there for them. On paper, this may seem like a huge effort and dedication, but in reality, it makes you predictable, ordinary, and worst of all, easily forgettable. Think about it. If you're always available, there's no challenge, tension, or excitement left in the relationship. The other person knows that no matter what, you will answer your phone, say yes, and drop everything for them. It's a fundamental rule of human psychology. The easier something is to obtain, the faster it loses its value. This isn't just true for romantic relationships. It's a universal truth of human nature. Think of an example from your own life. Recall a moment when you pursued a difficult, rare goal, your dream job, a special collector's item, or a challenging achievement. How did the difficulty of obtaining it increase your desire and sense of value? Yet, if the same thing had come to you without any effort, it wouldn't have given you that special feeling. Relationships work exactly on this principle. Women don't crave men who give up their own lives and revolve around them. On the contrary, they are attracted to men who have their own passions, priorities, and boundaries. Men who can say, "Sorry, I have something important to do that day," or "No, I have other plans that evening." In other words, men who don't need to abandon their scheduled and life on a dime to get approval. Why? Because independence and self-awareness are extremely attractive qualities. It shows that you are not desperate and that you have a rich, meaningful life outside of his attention. The bottom line is this: the more easy to get you make yourself, the less reason you give the other person to miss you. But when you give them space, when you show that you remain true to your own life and values, that's when your absence gains meaning. And only then will they truly begin to miss you. 4. Mystery. We were always taught that honesty is the best policy. Of course, trust and honesty are indispensable in sincere relationships. However, when it comes to the dynamics of attraction and first interactions, every detail served prematurely takes away the relationship's chance to grow. Most men think that sharing their feelings, plans, and even fears as they are is a sign of sincerity. Yet this approach destroys all the mystery of an attraction that has not yet blossomed. Remember, attraction is fueled not by logic, but by emotion and curiosity. Nothing occupies a person's mind like unanswered questions. If a woman doesn't know everything about you clearly, her mind automatically starts filling in the blanks. Questions like, where is he? What is he doing right now? What keeps him so busy? Fuel her curiosity about you. This curiosity is what makes her connect with you. When you lay all your cards on the table from the start, you leave no room for her imagination. When there's nothing left to imagine, there's nothing left to chase. Think about your favorite movie or book. Wasn't it the unexpected twists and uncertainties in the plot that drew you to it? If you knew the ending from the start, would you feel the same excitement? Male-female relationships work in a similar way. A man who shares his every step, every thought, every feeling in real time eliminates all the tension and consequently the excitement in the relationship. The truth is, mystery creates value. When you don't explain everything right away, you push the other person to focus on you, to try to understand you. And even when you're not there, you force them to make room for you in their mind. Let's uncover the secret. For someone to miss you, it starts in the mind, not the heart. Honesty is, of course, the foundation of a relationship, but it is not a tool of attraction. If you want a woman to desire your presence over time, even if she seems cold toward you at first, remember this rule. It's not what you say to her, but what you don't say that triggers longing. The real power lies not in what you share, but in what you keep to yourself. 5. Never compete for her attention. Many men unknowingly fall into a competition trap to win a woman's interest. When they see one of her social media posts, they race to be the first to comment. When they notice other men around her, they think they need to be louder, funnier, or more approachable than them. They believe that this way, their value will eventually be recognized. Let's be clear, this is a sign of weakness, and women can sense this kind of desperation from a mile away. The harsh truth is this: if you're competing with others to get a woman's attention, you've already lost the game. Why? Because men who are truly valuable don't compete. They attract. A man who is aware of his own worth doesn't care who messages him, who likes him, or who is trying to win him over. Because he knows his value is obvious. If a woman can't see that, it's her loss. This is precisely the turning point many men need to realize. Stop putting women on a pedestal. Stop viewing her interest as some prize you must fight for. This mindset makes you appear weaker and more desperate than you are. Remember, desperation never breeds respect. On the contrary, the more you chase and compete, the more she will pull away and shift her attention to another man who isn't fighting for her. Women are not attracted to men who beg for attention. They are attracted to men who generate interest and demand simply by their presence. The moment you stop competing and start acting as if you are the prize, the way she perceives you changes fundamentally. She realizes that your time, attention, and energy are not free, and suddenly she wants all of them. The bottom line is this: get a grip. If you're still struggling to attract a woman's attention, you're telling her you're beneath her. Turn the tables. Be the one who sets the standards. She should be the one competing. Because true value never begs. It simply makes itself felt through its presence. 6. Trust creates more dependency than love. Let's start with a fundamental truth that is often difficult to accept. A woman's heart is won not initially with words of love, but with the appeal of unwavering self-confidence. You can write her long messages expressing your feelings and try to show her your appreciation at every opportunity. But if you lack that solid self-confidence inside, the spark you're looking for just won't ignite. Why? Because a display of love lacking in self-confidence suggests weakness, not strength to the other person. And weakness is the greatest enemy of attraction. True self-confidence, on the other hand, is like a magnet that flows silently but draws everyone to it. This isn't about arrogance or making yourself seem bigger than you are. On the contrary, true confidence shows itself in your posture, your way of speaking, and the steps you take without constantly needing others' approval. Have you ever noticed, more often than not, a woman chooses someone who walks with confidence, who is sure of themselves, over the most handsome or wealthiest man? This is no coincidence. Female psychology perceives self-confidence as a natural indicator of strength, stability, and leadership. Loving words may make her smile, but only determined self-confidence will make her deeply attached to you. This is precisely where many men fall into error. They confuse self-confidence with words. But confidence is demonstrated through actions, making decisions without hesitation, not compromising your principles just to look good, leaving an environment where you are not respected. That is where the real appeal lies. This kind of confidence not only makes a woman love you, it also makes you unforgettable. Wake yourself up. Get out of the delusion that your love alone will affect her. Because without self-confidence, love turns into dependence, and dependence is repulsive. True self-confidence, on the other hand, is an effect that lingers in the mind even after you leave the room, that makes people think at night, that stays with them. What truly makes a woman miss you, even if she denies it, is this deep and unshakable self-confidence. 7. Make her think she's lost you. It's a fundamental rule of psychology. People take things they see as guaranteed for granted, but understand the value of things they might lose much better. Unfortunately, many men violate this dynamic by making themselves a permanent figure in a woman's life, even when they haven't earned that value yet. The truth is this: if a woman is certain that no matter what she does, you will always be there, she has no reason to appreciate you, value you, or miss you. However, the moment she senses that your attention and energy are no longer focused on her, that you are turning toward your own life and goals, everything changes. At this point, an alarm goes off in her mind. What if he continues his life without me? What if his interest shifts to someone else? What if I lose this opportunity forever? This fear of loss is the most powerful spark that ignites desire and longing. It's important to emphasize that this is not manipulation or childish games, but a matter of solid self-respect. Your goal is not to play games with them. It is to show them that your world does not revolve around them, that you are aware of your own worth. If they don't give you the value you deserve, you know your own worth and move on. This stance is what makes them feel your absence. The lesson here is simple but powerful. Remove yourself from being a guarantee. Be willing to distance yourself when necessary, to let them feel the weight of your silence, and to make them imagine what life would be like without you. Only then will he truly begin to miss you. Because nothing affects a woman more than the absence of a man she believes she can no longer win back. In short, this truth may hurt, but women don't miss you just because you're a good guy. They miss the man who doesn't lose his power, doesn't beg, and whose absence is felt. You can be the most well-intentioned, loving man in the world, but if you can't create your own space and make her realize your worth, she may choose to ignore you. Whereas the man who respects himself, doesn't give up, and doesn't chase after her, that's the one she'll chase after. In the next video, we'll cover another very important topic that will change the rules of the game in relationships. To make sure you don't miss this content, don't forget to click the subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way you'll be the first to know when a new video is released. See you in the next episode. Take care.